Hope you enjoy everyone. Thanks for watching this Honestly my latest review on Digimon Universe Appli Monsters. Here's episode 25 and 26. There's a reason why I decided to put them together. I'll explain that in a little bit. It starts off with them entering the digital gate. Hey, they're going into the deep sea, the deep web, and there is where Leviathan is supposed to be lurking around, reigning supreme. Now things don't go off right away. But when we get to see it, it's kind of like this beautiful sight. Like they're thinking is what you call underground city. It's different from what you usually expect. However, but it's different. It kind of reminds you of one of those darker themes. Cities. Like there's gonna be it's big, beautiful, but there's a lot of problems. What you call crime ring. Right off the bat, these guys are attacked. The Seven Code Band. Was once the Appli bands. The Seven Code Band warned them that the Appli Mount coming near. That's quite an improvement. It showed that the Pokemon. I think they're like what you call the cops in this world. Seeing that these guys are entering in the deep web. We also get to know that deep web is what you call a much larger space of an already existing mainframe. Because we know about the digital sea, right? All those islands. The digital sea is what you call the surface in this super software, super processing, and like this big giant digital space. What you saw was the top layer. Right now, they're at the very bottom, like how the tip of an iceberg hides the very bottom and large portion of ice. Beneath the deep water. Kind of like deeper into the abyss. As far as I can tell. They try to do their best. As try to avoid it. And we get to see these what you call digital fish and these creatures in masks. How these guys try to jump them. Just for being humans or whatever. Or it's obviously these guys are under Leviathan's control. But they eventually get saved. Because they wear the band with the Minerva symbol on it. Remember, Minerva was once the progenitor of Leviathan before Leviathan went rogue and decided, to take over mankind and whatever. You know. We also get to see, Ray is going off on his own in a side mission, and that's all in 25. These kids try to do their best to try to locate. They also try to think, what to do next, because Leviathan's whole goal is to subjugate humanity, to control the people and to cause chaos throughout the digital world, Basically, they're gonna use, its influence over the internet to try to control everything that's connected. It's the year 2029, so everything's all digital and connected, When you think about it, it's pretty intense, Um, it's I've seen this before, I don't know, no. It's kind of like the whole chaos theory, kind of like Skynet, from the Terminator franchise. If you guys haven't watched that, seeing this, they try to move forward, and try to do their best because they know what's a lot at stake. They are chosen, the Appli drivers. They follow this digital fish into the secret moon. They didn't at first. They didn't get access, but because of the Heaven Code Band, they were allowed access. How they were given like this? I was just this riveting multiple choice room. You had this one room where this cows abducted by aliens. The alien tries to attack them. The second, holds one of those masked guys. I was eating ramen. I don't know if that's a Naruto joke or whatever, but Naruto loves ramen. That's just a joke right in there. Next one is some guy in a bathtub full of gold or whatever. Next time, the same guy who was eating ramen, eating spaghetti. The third, you get to see this missile, in the desert. I think it's kind of scenario for war. I think it was kind of a war video game, missile or whatever. So, and the next, you get to see the same guy with the same mustache, the same dude with the mask. This time, he's trying to eat a burger, and he didn't get to say, "Can I help you this time?" And that was just, off poignant, I really like how they try to do things. Remember, they're in the digital depths. They're in the deep web right now. Anything is literally possible for them. And, things are different down here. Leviathan has full control, and there's a lot of things, out here that's different. And as they move forward to the deep web, whatever, they rendezvous. They see that this creature is attacking the people in the mask. They find this looks like this weird jellyfish-looking snail thing. It doesn't exactly have a name. It's just some monster or whatever. And it has the ability to absorb their data and delete them. They eventually save one of the guys, and one of the guys, his name is Drawmon. He's what you call paint Applimon, he's green, he has color paint. He also tells them about them being humans. Like, the fact that you were a human being, you're made up of blood cells, flesh and blood or whatever. However, when you enter the deep web, kind of like in the past series, when you become digital or enter the digital world, your whole body is converted into data. So if your body becomes data, then you become a part of the digital plane. But with your data destroyed, so is your real body, and you can never return. Basically, saying that you could die. That's something from the original Digimon series. Human beings becoming digital data. And they enter the digital world. Their bodies become different. No, I remember that when Ty had to face his test of courage, he was afraid and he lost Sora. That was classic Digimon for me, nostalgia. And other series in Digimon have done it too, But enough about that, They find about Drawmon, he has to help them, Apparently he's gonna help them, on their quest because he saved his life to try to lead them into the Leviathan, Now, meanwhile, we get Ray. He makes his deal with this shady-looking guy. That he's gonna offer them data on the most powerful men in the countries. Except for the information about his brother and Leviathan. The guy doesn't buy it. He thinks that at first he doesn't look at it, but he thinks it's some kind of virus. Like Ray was trying to trick him to try to get him to talk. Basically trying to mislead him. Give him something he wants, but it doesn't work. He doesn't fall for it. But Hackmon already found out. He also managed to hack in the information about what happened to Ray's brother. Her brother. Apparently he was chosen as a test subject. This test subject being the ability to convert physical matter into data, but not just that, not just convert it, but reformat it. But basically, his little brother, who was helpless or whatever, is now something else, now someone else. So if we tried to look for his little brother, he couldn't recognize him. So Ray is probably distraught that his brother was taken away from him, and now he was used as a guinea pig like Leviathan. Like, the guy could look like anybody, and we wouldn't even know him. But I have a theory on who he is. What is that theory? Not telling. Because I don't want to spoil. I don't want to spoil, too many people's fun or whatever. That's just me, I'm trying to keep people in their imaginations, I want to keep them, straight up, keep their hopes alive, I don't want to ruin somebody's fun. That's not me. Anyway, we get back to the main story. We get to find out that Drawmon, he leads him to this place. It's actually an arena, but we get to see all those masked men or whatever. They're just watching them. And they get to see the guys, our heroes fight this giant snail-looking monster. Apparently it was all a lie, her Drawmon, manipulated them into fighting them, He did this to gain their trust, so he can use them, and set them up and die, basically, which is pretty. Once you think about it, it's pretty, messed up, Eventually they have no choice but to fight, Haru, knowing that he has to realize, he has to go ultimate Appli, otherwise they couldn't make it out of it, we get to see that Ray, is watching them from the shadow. They even have that mask, He even though Ultimate Appli realize is, very strong and powerful, it, takes a lot out of them because, the time limit is 1 minute. Eventually they get past that. They're probably gonna, when they get strong enough, they're probably gonna use Ultimate Appli realize later, all they want, At least that's the basic theory. Now, eventually, Haru gets in to save his friends. He summons out Globomon, he destroys the monster. How he cuts the monster in half, he slices him right through and also blows away all the surrounding buildings and whatever, because actually, right now he's Globomon. He's an Ultimate Appli fusion, and everybody was in shock, including the others. How some of them ran away. The fact that an Ultimate Applimon is here. Does that mean that Leviathan, that means that they're afraid of Applimon, because Globomon is powerful. Seeing even, he defeated the monster, the Pokemon, come to attack him, or arrest him or whatever, and then the 7 Koban reacts, sending them home, I mean, they made it into the deep web, and yeah, but they couldn't fight Leviathan. They were surrounded by all sides. They were in the enemy territory. this wasn't a victory. This wasn't what you call a victory, you know. This was a retreat, you know, so they can clarify their thoughts. Because this is the enemy that they're facing now. They're on their enemy's home turf, you know. Even though, oh, they're working together, you know, it's just only the four of them, and not all of them are on the same side. Like for example, Ray went off on his own with Hackmon, and also the other three are left to ponder what to do, you know. And in order for them to realize this, they have to work together, you know. Now that's something they have to understand, you know. But when they get back home, they're at the bookshop, you know. They know they have to go back into the sea and face their enemy again. They know that this fight is not over. We get to see, hey, Eugene, hey, you know, Haru's friend, you know, he seems interesting, you know. It seems that this guy is going to play a major role in the story later, you know. You know, that's just me guessing, you know. You know, they know they have to get to the digital sea. They know they have to work together. They know that now that they've gone this close to Leviathan, they're gonna find a way to stop him once and for all, and eventually they work together. You know, and that's just you know 20, 25. However, 26 is nothing special. 26 is just a recap episode. But I'll give you the details. You know, 26, all it does is just takes the bits of the story from all the episodes. You know, the main story, like how Haru met Gachimon, how he achieved Realize, and how he, you know, also Appli Fusion, you know, and how this about the seven Abimon, how he met the others. It's basically taking the main story and breaking it down into smaller presents. Like if you haven't watched the series so far from the first episode or whatever, this episode is just for you to, you know, like to give you a breakdown of what the main story is, you know. And they even gave us a new opening and a new ending. I really like it, you know. They even gave us some hints into the future. I even got to see the preview. I watched the whole thing, you know. It's nothing special. It's just a recap episode. But like I said, if you guys haven't watched the series and want a breakdown of what the main story is all about, you can go ahead and watch it, you know. Just for reminder purposes, you know. You know, the next episode is called "The Fifth Appli Driver," and we get to see this cowboy Applimon. We saw him in episode 25. You know, it looks like I don't know if he's one of Leviathan's minions. You know, but it looks like he's you know he's very powerful. He blew a hole into a building. You know, he's pretty strong. Even Drawmon's afraid of him when he took that shot at him. You know. Which means he's gonna probably get into conflict with the others. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe. Thank you. This is game you on Digimon Fusion Appli Monsters episode 25 and 26. I'm out. See you guys next time. Bye.